Well, it looks like they got the kids out of the fucking car and are harassing them right now. Let's go see what happens. Hey, y'all got a Fourth Amendment right. Looks like the cops in the car searching for probably no reason. Now you guys have a constitutional right against unlawful searches and seizures, right? All right. What was this probable cause? The guy have reasonable suspicion you committed a crime. I believe this is Officer Olinger. I've heard him before. You guys have a good day. I'm gonna go around the corner up here, see if this cop decides he's gonna harass me. Just keep the camera rolling, make sure he doesn't come around and try to harass me. Oh, here we go. Here he comes. Just out watching what y'all doing. Make sure you're doing your job properly.
Oh, I do.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I like to know that. It's just,
I'm not out to violate people's rights.
that's good. It's good to know.
Everyone's well aware of their rights.
Yep. Just ask, am I being detained?
No.
Okay.
No, you're free to go. I'm not detaining you.
Okay.
Stop to talk to you.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. I'll talk. Okay.
You're over there saying hi to me.
Yeah.
Rude way, but that's okay.
I know I was a little rude. I'm sorry, but
I'm not rude. I have a
I understand.
way of approach. So,
I understand.
you know,
Just so you know, you are being audio recorded.
that's fine.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. When did you come to the Brookfield Police Department? I thought you were still with the Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, I was. I was working up there. I quit the 26th and started here.
Better pay? Kind of? About the same?
It's about the same, but there's personal differences, so I have to make a decision on what's best for me.
Right on.
What about you? You work anywhere?
Oh, not yet. Still kind of looking for work, but it's kind of hard as an atheist when you live in a town that's full of Christians that think that atheists are not to be trusted for anything. And when I've been busted by the Brookfield Police Department for a victimless crime, but I guess that is what you guys would call the law.
Well, you see it different than we do, so.
I know, but it's the fact that
you have the right to your own opinion.
and you do too. That's what's great about being in America.
Yeah, we'll just have to agree to
Yes, sir.
I see it different. You know, I kind of have an idea where your stance is on it.
Well, see, the thing about my problem with marijuana is the fact that it's never killed anybody. Never. The only people who's ever got killed over it are drug dealers and people who steal people's money from it. That's the only people who's ever got killed over it. Marijuana has been proven to cure cancer.
Well, I don't know about.
You can look it up. You can look it up.
About proving
Harvard University proven it. Has proven it. That it will cure cancer. Yes. And as a matter of fact, the second most prominent cannabinoid that's found in marijuana, which is cannabidiol, is actually found to be in a concentration of about 47%. It's the second most prominent outside of THC, and it's non-psychoactive. And it's been proven very effective for people who have seizure disorders.
I knew that.
See, because
treatment over there in California.
I understand your guys' problem behind it is that people abuse it. But it's just like any other drug that you can go to the pharmacist and get and that can be abused.
Well, I understand.
So,
I agree with that as far as.
but if it's got all these beneficial effects, then I think the government needs to get their head out of their ass and give it to us for medical purposes.
Do you think strictly medical?
Yes. I do not believe that people just need it just to be smoking to get high, because that's abuse. That really is honestly abuse if you're smoking it just to get high.
But my question is, if you have an illness that
Me personally,
if you were smoking it, well, let's get it out of the way. Have you smoked marijuana?
well, that's kind of obvious if I've been in trouble for it.
But, yeah, but I mean, I don't want to assume anything.
Uh-huh.
So you have smoked it.
Yes, I have before.
Was it because you had an illness and you were trying to cure the illness?
No, I can honestly admit that in your guys' opinion it would be abuse, but I believe firmly that the reason I'm not suffering from cancer or Alzheimer's or anything at an early age is because of the effects of the cannabinoids in my body.
They've also linked Lyme disease to Alzheimer's, so they haven't proven it, but it was out of 9 out of 10 brains that were studied had Lyme disease in it. And those 10
From the Alzheimer's, or?
Yeah, those 10 they all had Alzheimer's.
So you're saying Alzheimer's can be linked to Lyme disease, or?
Yeah, because.
So Lyme disease is causing Alzheimer's?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what one guy believes. He studied it since it came out back in the 80s.
Okay.
They realized that it's still a fresh disease as far as, it's not like.
Well, see, I firmly believe that it's all the yellow journalism from the 1940s that's keeping marijuana illegal. Because, for one, the police force makes too much money off the criminal activity forfeiture acts when they confiscate marijuana from people. So the police force wants it to stay illegal.
Well,
You personally may not, but I believe that the police force does, in general. And then the government makes way too much money off of busting people trying to smuggle it across our borders. The DEA effectively pays for itself every year.
Basically, gets money and use it. I'm not sure about local law enforcement. Like I said,
Well, I know that you guys' dare truck is from a drug bust that was conducted in Brookfield about 20 years ago.
yeah, they do. There are certain things where
As long as they can't, well, it's not really that it's been used, it's the fact that they can prove it.
they use it.
Because they have to be able to prove that you smuggled drugs with the vehicle.
A lot of these things, like I said, you have your own opinion, I have mine, and I agree to disagree. But there have been scientific facts that show that there is medical use for marijuana, but there's also prescriptions that are just as effective.
Yes, but how easy is marijuana grown? You know firsthand from being an officer that marijuana is easily cultivated, could be grown in this house, that house, that house, that house, and you wouldn't know it.
Well,
But you can, if they're not running carbon filters and stuff like that.
most of them don't.
Well, most people aren't very intelligent, but but it's the fact that the pharmaceutical companies face losing billions of dollars in revenue a year from insurance companies and private citizens.
You're not going to hear a complaint from me. I don't think the system is perfect.
No, the system's not perfect, but it's not working as it is, I can tell you that. But we got 1 in 4 or 1 in 6 Americans that are in prison because of marijuana.
it depends on the degree of marijuana. Because how often have you seen people from our county do it?
Well, I was facing prison time.
Yeah, but yours was considered.
I was facing a felony. Well, I was not facing distribution. I was facing felony possession. And that was it.
Okay. I thought it was distribution.
No, I was not facing distribution. Nope. Nope. They couldn't. All they could prove was was possession. That's all they could prove. And Judge Raven seen fit to.
What was the amount?
I don't remember exactly how much they said. I know how much I had on me, but I don't remember what the police report said I had on me. So.
How much do you remember was on you?
Well,
the case is over, right?
Yeah, the case is over, but I'm still not very comfortable talking about it with officers.
That's fine.
But
I'll respect that.
But I had more than 35 grams on me, I can tell you that.
Yeah, under state law.
That's felony.
Right.
But I really think that cops need to stop harassing people. That they're doing nothing except sitting at home, smoking a blunt. You know, they're not out. You know, they're not out beating up their girlfriend. They're not out drinking and driving and smashing their cars in the poles. You know, you can tell personally. I don't know if you personally can tell, but when you see a drunk driver, they're usually weaving in and out of traffic, driving way too fast, and they're causing problems. But now when you see a driver out there that's probably stoned off of marijuana, now given that the synthetic cannabinoids that they're selling out here now, they're dangerous because of the fact that they're 800 to 1,000 times more potent than the cannabinoids you find in marijuana, and you depress your CNS that far, you're going to have seizures.
Now, I've seen bad driving when it comes to being high. So.
Well, they're usually driving too slow.
Well, they're
typically.
They're actually crossing the center lines. They're speeding too slow.
But I would support that. I would support, if they legalized it. I would support you officers enforcing that people do not need to be smoking marijuana and going out and driving their vehicles. I support that completely.
But you don't support it now because marijuana.
No, I don't support prohibition. I do not believe that marijuana should be completely illegal. It should not be a Schedule I drug. Maybe Schedule II or Schedule III.
That's something you'll have to take up with your
Oh, I've already wrote to the congressmen, so. The only congressman that wrote me back was Claire McCaskill.
You and I have really no say when it comes to if it's legal or not. It's what these politicians.
But it takes somebody to stand up and stand against the injustice.
I agree. All it takes is one person sometimes to start changing action. But you'll have to, if you truly want to, you'll have to be active in it.
I'm very active in it.
If you want to change the law.
Matter of fact, I see my PO every month, and I talk about her. I talk about it with her all the time.
I can see you're very passionate.
I'm very passionate in it. It's never hurt anybody. Never. Marijuana itself has never hurt anybody.
Oh, there was that shooting over there at the April 20th in Colorado, the Capitol. Everyone was smoking marijuana.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure if you look into it, there's usually underlying problems with people, and the drugs don't help any. You know, when you take people out there that are already fucking seeing things that ain't there and hearing voices and shit, you don't want to drug them up and then give them a gun. But, and speaking of guns, I want to know what is your opinion on open carry? You're for it?
Yeah.
So would you stop and harass somebody you've seen walking down the street with a gun?
I'd ask them, talk to them, say hi. That's about it. I just kind of get a feel for them, see if they're a competent person. I think one of the big issues is kind of like with Newtown. You had a mentally unstable person.
Yeah.
Able to obtain guns. I got mixed feelings about it, but I'm for open carry. I'm for concealed carry. I think what the state did as far as passing all the laws on to kind of block the federal gun control. I'm for it.
Okay, that's good to hear. You know, we need more responsible gun owners to be out there policing the streets. You know.
You need responsible gun owners. I do think it's too easy to get.
Yeah, but that comes back to the Second Amendment.
But I also want Right. Right. No, what I mean by easy, whenever you deal with
Well, I understand that
confident, as
if
far as
gun sellers need to be more conscious of the people they're selling guns to.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Because, you know, if somebody who comes in there that obviously has a demeanor that they're going to try to hurt somebody with this gun, or obviously has a mentally retarded state, do they need a gun? No, because they probably don't know how to use it properly. But I was taught, when I was growing up, my dad taught me never point a gun at anything you didn't intend to kill. So, and as a matter of fact, if my dad ever caught me playing with the guns, he'd beat my ass.
Very well good as far as being a responsible gun owner.
But the thing is people don't understand the Second Amendment is not about hunting. It's about protecting us from a tyrannical government.
Yes. There's of course there's a different stance on it that I can't remember which politician, but it said that basically it's the Second Amendment should be voided out or it's null and void because you really don't have that. Exactly how to put it. But basically, you don't have the threat of a tyrannical government.
But we do have a threat of a tyrannical government all the time.
Egypt,
look at Stalin, look at Hitler, look at Mao. All three of them were big avid supporters of gun control. And every time that they took, throughout history,
I'm not arguing.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing up what other people.
But you can tell from every time that we can see through history, every time they've taken the guns out of citizens' hands, the government has invoked martial law and took over, forced people into concentration camps, forced people into labor camps, and completely stripped us of our rights. It has happened and that's what Obama and our current administration is trying to do to us. That's what I firmly believe.
I don't know if the specific law in Mexico, but my understanding is that it's illegal to have guns.
In Mexico?
Yeah, it's illegal. It doesn't mean it's illegal. Because you look at the drug cartels.
Yeah.
The damage that they did.
And you really want to get at the drug cartels, legalize marijuana. I told Stuart Hughes that when he arrested me that day. I said, if you really want to screw over the drug dealers, legalize it. Because if you legalize it, there's no money to be made in it. Well, there'd be less money to be made in it, I should say.
Whenever you legalize, if you legalize it.
I believe a lot of problems we have can be solved with more liberty, not less liberties.
I got mixed feelings about it.
Uh-huh.
Just being in a position of law enforcement officer, you have things that the average person doesn't see. So,
correct.
You get mixed feelings about certain issues. Marijuana is one of them. I see your stance on it. I do. I see why you're passionate about it, but I just have to take a stance the opposite. Now,
well, you have an obligation to uphold the law, so
yeah,
whether you support the law or not, you still got to enforce the law.
I understand. The issue you have, I think, is more now. You have a large net population that still.
Now, I could understand the police's, if the police would have kicked my door in because I was.
But a lot of those, I've found that a lot of people that are involved in the meth and the pills, there's also marijuana.
Yes, but I don't believe that the marijuana caused that.
And whenever I see the meth and the pills and the marijuana all together, I lump it up all together. And that's how I feel.
Okay.
Just like alcohol, you can have an addiction. Alcohol is dangerous.
But alcohol's legal.
It's a huge industry.
It's just
they tried prohibition on it.
And look how many law enforcement officers got killed over it.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of mayhem back then. We don't have the technology.
It's just My problem with it is that if you're at home smoking marijuana and you're not neglecting your children, you're still paying your taxes, you're not beating your wife, you're not going and stealing from the local businesses to support your habit, as they would like to call it, what's the problem? You know, why do I have to be, they want to say that, you know, marijuana causes paranoia. Yeah, because I'm paranoid that an armed man is going to show up at my front door, kick my door in, kidnap me, and throw me in a cage. That's why I'm paranoid when I smoke marijuana.
Smoke it. It's legal.
Exactly. That's my stance on it now. I'm going to fight for the cause.
If it's illegal, we're going to do our job if we come across it. Don't do it illegal. You know, don't do anything illegal.
We're impeding traffic. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, officer. All right, you too.